going to talk about today are COPD, CHF. COPDers, just to kind of introduce this, when they first come into the ER, they're going to get a 28% Veni mask or a 2-liter nasal cannula, unless like they're coding. So you're going to see lots of COPD patients on your boards. They're going to come in, they're going to be hypoxemic, and you're going to have to start them at O2. So remember, titrate. Only thing we want their sats between is 88 and 92%. So we're not starting off high. If the patient doesn't fall within this range, once you put them on this, you could up them some, but we're not going to 100% non-rebreathers unless our patients are coding. Remember, we never, ever, ever withhold oxygen. But these patients have an abnormally low SpO2 to begin with, so we're gonna put them on a low flow. Why? We don't use it clinically anymore, but why would we pick a Veni mask over a nasal cannula?
Mouth breathers?
Mouth breathers, more precise, is the real big reason. It can give a precise FiO2, but really, anybody seen a Veni mask used?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
They're just not using them anymore. But as of today, they're still on the test. Okay, so, I want this to say CHF. CHF patient. Possibly nasal cannula, more likely 100% non-rebreather. The other thing you'll see with CHF patient is maybe they're on 40% or like 6 liters and they want to make a change, because let's say you have 7.53, 28, 43 PaO2, sats in the 75%. What is the best thing that helps a CHF patient? Okay, Lasix, but from our standpoint, PEEP, I heard it. So PEEP, if our patient's not on a vent, what do we call it? CPAP. So if you get something like this and you have a choice for CPAP, that's going to be the next best option. So it's really going to depend on where your patient's at. We see this a lot on the test. They'll be on a moderate FiO2 and still severely hypoxic, so go ahead and get them switched over to CPAP, because that's ultimately what's going to help them the best. Yes?
What is that number on the bottom, 75 or
75%.
75, okay, 78.
It's just their saturation. PO2 of 43, SpO2 45%, 75%.
The 40% or
6-liter nasal cannula. So this, your patient comes into the ER with this ABG, I'm gonna put them straight to a non-rebreather. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
They first come in, you have this ABG, put them straight to a non-rebreather. You have something like this where they're on a moderate FiO2 and they wanna make a change, go ahead and throw them on CPAP at that point. Yes.
When you throw that CHF patient on the BiPAP, I've seen a lot in the ER, they straight throw them on the BiPAP instead of the CPAP.
Yeah, clinically, you're not going to see a lot of CPAP use. Everybody gets BiPAP. But from a testing perspective, we do see them go to CPAP, because remember, this is truly, is this a ventilation problem? No, CO2 is low, right? So it's an oxygenation problem. So from a testing perspective, this patient really truly only needs CPAP. Clinically, they throw them on BiPAP, which is fine. It's going to do oxygenation. But let's say, let's talk about from a textbook standpoint. This was your ABG, you put them on CPAP, and now you have this. Then they would need BiPAP. So they were ventilating okay here, we put them on CPAP, now they're on CPAP, and now they're not ventilating, now we could go to BiPAP. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. And in the hospital, everybody gets BiPAP. So that's the real world. But testing wise, they're gonna wanna see that, you know that truly this patient only needs CPAP. And it's also just ease, everybody needs BiPAP. You could put a patient on CPAP on a BiPAP machine, you use the same IPAP, the same EPAP. So 10/10 would be 10 of CPAP. But everybody's probably gonna get 10/5. Yes, Ruby?
By C, Jeff, what's your very first thing? Looks like a question mark, NC.
I said possibly nasal cannula.